through it or it's passing through you. It will pass through
you. By the time
you will not pass through it.
Never.
Oh.
You don't have that option.
No.
Anywho.
So, Charlie, just log on here. Madame Miriam is in all her glory, you know. Really? Okay, yes. So, today we'll be getting into a lot of insightful conversations, and the ladies are going to be taking over the show. So, I'll just hurry up and,
and disappear.
Yeah, and disappear.
I don't even know why you're not, you're the one here, but okay.
Oh, you want me to? Wrong info.
Yes.
Let's continue. Now, let's talk about what's trending. Let's get into some of the interesting trends. And this happened yesterday. Yes. So, Ali J, he had the opportunity of hosting the of finance.
Oh, God.
Yes, Honorable Hattoh with regards to, in a build-up to the budget. So he had a whole notebook down writing people's questions in his conference room. So he actually did it in the conference room of the Ministry of Finance yesterday evening. He was in the office. And on Saturday, he was somewhere around Makola interacting with the market women. And
what's the significance of that?
You see, there are also stakeholders in the budget. So maybe you call that stakeholder engagement. Yeah, it works.
Makes sense.
It works.
I'm still struggling around the fact that he shows up in the marketplace. Is it to understand the business of running the market space, that they don't have those data working already?
No, I feel it's the other way around. It's more like making the people understand what is going to be happening. That's what I feel maybe should have. Because
if that was the focus, then okay.
Yeah, because you can't go to them after the budget is prepared to tell them that, what do you want? What do you not want? No, it's more like, so if we do this, maybe if you put the question in that manner, so if this, then it means that. Then it will be a nice conversation. Yeah. So anyways, history was made yesterday. And also, please, if you have questions, yes, we will share this link. If you have questions, I have a lot of questions for the minister, though. My questions, I'll need 3 forms to fill it out. Yep.
Question number 1.
Oh, if I start, it's paragraph. You see.
Must I break it down?
Question number 1. I want to find out from the minister what plans he has with regards to making the Black Stars fund themselves, so that we take the funding of the Black Stars out of the taxpayers' money. The Black Stars should be able to generate enough revenue to literally support themselves. Question number 2, what exactly and how exactly is government going to come up with the money that government made promise, or the current government, when they were in opposition, they made a promise that they were going to try and pay local players some amount of money. Where exactly is that amount of money going to be coming from, and how is the fund going to be administered? That is question number 2. Question number 3, how are we going to effectively build, maintain, and further raise funds with our sporting facilities? I'm not limiting it to football. Sporting facilities. How are we going to raise funds with them? Let me add additional one. Question number 4. How are we going to turn our sporting industry into a proper industry, so that it will be able to employ, if not next to agric, more than the people who partake in agric? Those are my questions for the finance minister.
Very great
and
question.
It's down his alley. So I'll be filling the forms. So you can also go.
So what will happen in Parliament tomorrow when the finance minister is reading the budget? Would he call Khalid to bring the questions from online? Or they'll present these questions to him? Yeah, these questions to make presentations on them as per new media questions. Yeah. So he will make time.
But I'm not sure it will be in the budget. These questions will be attended to later after the budget. The budget there is done.
I totally get that.
Today we'll get leaks from the budget.
Do you get my point? I think Khalid is pushing an agenda that is absolutely phenomenal. But if we need answers, if I am just finding out, because I'm just finding out about this today, and I want to send a question to the finance minister, hoping that he will highlight or answer these questions at his budget presentation, because I didn't know about this, and because we never had an opportunity to speak to the finance minister or send him our questions. How is he going to touch on these that we are sending to him? Because if he mentions them after the budget is done, monies have been allocated. At what point are those things going to be attended to? I think that timing is also very important in these things. Because I think and I'm sure budget was probably done in the first quarter, in the first month they entered into power. Into power. But I believe that if you're going to give a platform, don't come and play in our faces.
No, but there's the supplementary budget as well.
That's what I'm saying. That's the point. So
we can build up to that.
Absolutely. So at what point are these questions going to be addressed? Because I want the work that Kali J is doing online not to be like Diagro. Because he has fought for a good cause for so many years. And he tells me that, listen, this government looks beautiful. They're decorating themselves in a lot of credibility, right? And so if that's what they're showing up to be, if I put them on my platform, I bet you're going to get results. I bet you're going to get answers for your questions. So if he is going to take the time, his data, and spend everybody's time in putting up questions, at what point are these questions going to be answered? If it's not going to show up in this budget, is it just fanfooling, or is going to show up in a supplementary budget? At what point are these questions going to be answered? That's what I'm asking.
Would get the answer to that particular one. But Kali J says,
we need him in the studio.
Very soon. Very soon. Very soon. I think the last time I saw him was about a year ago. Hey, I mean, so I don't go out. It's hard though. Anyways, thank you to the Minister of Finance, Dr. Karen Essiful-Ansah, for joining #you Kali J Spaces. We know, no problem. Tonight to discuss the Ghana national budget. History has been made and will continue being made. Yo, #resetting Ghana. Yo is all we'll say. Mimi has raised an important point. When will these questions be answered? Wonderful. So, okay, let's continue. No problem. So, it happened during the space, and the minister made an announcement, and it goes this way. Breaking, Finance Minister Karen Essiful-Ansah has announced plans to increase the school feeding program by 33%. And that's where you get some headlines from it, moving from somewhere, I think, 1 CD, 20 pesos to 2 CD. We've seen those issues as well. So
those times when I was eating the school feeding program food, no? I think 50 pesos.
Yeah.
Because let me tell you what was in my plates like every single day. Days when we're having rice, it was rice, stew, very nice stew, eggs and sausages, and fried fish.
Which school?
Which school can you say? No, I joined a public school. It was I'll mention. Of course, I'll mention.
Oh no, but I want to know which
it was called Old Lashibi Primary School.
Old Lashibi.
It was in Lashibi.
US, listen to the name of the place. Lashibi. No problem. Please continue with
And they brought the food, and it was really nice.
Fish.
Fish. Fried fish, the middle part, the small one, or the tail and the head. I remember it very well. And eggs.
The fish, is it panla or?
I think it was. Panla is the one that has a lot of
Panla is the one that has the.
I don't know. Yes, so it was panla. Yes, the locally in the middle. Yeah. So it was fish. So I think the whole fish, much of is 3. So you either get the head, the middle, or I always like the middle. So I always ask for the middle, and then they'll give you sausages 2, and 1 egg. Plain rice. They were eating kinky. It's kinky, 2 balls, sardine, pepper, or kinky, 2 balls, fish and pepper. Then they would either add eggs or avocado, so you choose. Then I'm telling you what.
No, question. Please, the avocado, no, which one is that? Paya. Payanku.
Enye payanku avocado. Then I'm telling you what the school feeding program used to look like, right? This way we're having wache, even the best. Wache, gari, spaghetti, what do you call it? Salad. Did I mention gari already? Shito, stew, wele, egg, and meat. That was what wache looked like. And this one we're having jollof. Jollof was always with chicken and salad. This was school feeding program my time. This will be 2000 and because I graduated 2010, so this will be 2006, 2007 when school feeding program was introduced. When I was eating school feeding program, this is what it looked like. And I would leave my lunchbox at home deliberately just so I could eat school feeding program.
Please listen to the name of the school again. Lashibi.
Old Lashibi Primary School.
Odo, new Lashibi is the constant.
Why? Is there anything in Lashibi you are looking for?
You see.
Hey, I know because
I want others in. It's okay. This morning, matter is going to come from my mouth.
What do you want to say?
You see, Lashibio. I want others in North Kanishikra, so Kakra. Choco, come and give me the same ruling. You understand? Jamestown, give me same ruling. Do you understand?
I think those times when the school feeding program was introduced, I think the food was more, the quality was higher than it is now. Because I've seen some of the food they serve, and it's total.
What you are mentioning is more like a restaurant serving you lunch.
That is. But don't you get the point I'm making?
No problem.
No, you're not listening. I'm telling you that.
I understand where you're coming from.
That's what it looked like.
That is before. Now
so
there's
what changed?
After.
What changed?
A lot.
Let's get into it.
Let's continue. So a lot of football is trending.
Yeah.
Raya is trending because he's the goalkeeper for Arsenal.
Yeah.
And he performed some beautiful saves yesterday. Yeah, so David Raya, that's it. So this is when he exceptionally denied Manchester United from going ahead in the latter stages of the game. It was exceptional. It was a double save, and everybody feels that that's the reason why the coach always banks on him and keeps him inside the team. Now, also Bruno Fernandes is trending because he's the captain for Manchester United, and he got the goal yesterday. Now, there's a controversy about the goal. So it's normally between the football and the wall. That's a setup for to defend the set piece. It's supposed to be 10 yards. So constantly, let me give you the trick. Constantly, you see the referee moving, and we'll stop and then rule the line. Count it anytime. It's supposed to be 10. The referee would take 10 steps. One step is supposed to be a yard. So those are some of the small tricks in football.
Yeah.
So Anthony, I'm talking about a referee, Anthony Taylor. He decided to take 11 yards. So eventually, when the ball went in from the free kick, now the argument of the Arsenal fans is that the referee did not count 10. He rather counted 11.2 yards.
To put here, see, we need now 11.2.
No, you can actually measure it from on the screen as well. So we have ways of measuring it actually and getting the right number on the screen. But yeah.
Interesting.
Don't worry. One of these days you should bring me in for tech tutorials on sports. Yeah. Thank you very much.
I agree.
Yeah.
Producers, lock that in.
So a lot of people are praising Bruno Fernandes because without him, Manchester United, a lot of people are also saying that they will just be a championship team with swag. Yeah.
You football people are just brutal. I do not want to be in your spaces.
Yeah. So this is it. So despite the fact that these guys are really tall, the ball was able to scale beautifully over their heads and went into the pool. But people are forgetting that Raya was also not placed correctly in the whole sequence. That's the issue as well. Anyways, that's a whole football thing. I really don't want to get extra technical about. Arsenal are also in the trend because yesterday they flattered to deceive again, and it looks like they are enjoying their title as contenders.
Okay.
Yeah. They are always contending since 2016-17. Contenders. Arsenal fans, I mean how? Arteta 5 years, 200 games in charge of Arsenal. Where is he? He's trending. Arteta should be trending. Oh, he has disappeared from the trends. Don't worry, we'll get Arteta trending. Arteta, 200 games in charge of Arsenal. No striker. You don't see. It's okay, let's continue. Don't worry. Let's get into other things. Now, Grok is trending because Grok is the AI that has been launched by X. And it's in its third version. But why it's trending is because our brothers in Nigeria went rogue over the weekend.
Went to where?
They went rogue.
What was that?
Okay, so they decided to ask Grok all sorts of questions. All kind of unimaginable things and imaginable things. They were just asking history about Nigeria, and then they intentionally go and say Grok is wrong, Grok is wrong. Like they were just going at it. So
what? They're not getting accurate answers from Grok?
From according to them. So this is, if you go onto your X, you want to use Grok, this is the sign for Grok.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's why it's trending. And a lot of sports, basically sports, Leicester City, Chelsea, Leicester, Rayo Vallecano. So Rayo is the short form of Rayo Vallecano, a Spanish team that lost to Real Madrid. They are also trending. Odegaard is trending. Amatela is trending. We jump over that. Nkunku is trending.
You know what Amatela is about?
Yep. We move on.
Violence everywhere.
Please.
Hey.
We want peace. Perfect peace. Hey.
Who needs to buy?
I know today we'll get a response from
Amatela. Hey,
we'll get for. When you say for Amatela, you are not wrong. But when you say from Amatela, you are referring to a person.
For Amatela.
Yeah.
But Kevin Taylor might respond for Amatela.
To whom it may concern.
Okay. All right. International Women's Day. Are we moving on?
Yeah. International Women's Day is trending. Yeah. Because 8th of March is International Women's Day. So
also over the weekend, I saw former President Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo dancing in church over the JB Dankwa conversation. Well, we'll see if this shows up in our story.
You know the dance? Should I dance off the set?
Please. No, do the list. The mouth is important.
You want trouble for me this morning?
The former president, he's guy.
Yeah.
When he steps on the dance floor, then he do the mouth like,
hey.
President, Allah.
Me penny parties ako.
No, the man can dance. He's living.
Hey.
Nana, we miss you, actually. Because I dance, me never and he likes to dance the gospel song. On the gospel song, and that's why he's my G. Okay, people. Well, let's get into our stories for this morning. Before I get into trouble, our guest in Covington Saints will get it. We'll take us through that. We'll be right back.
Visit www.mx24online.com for news, exclusive behind-the-scenes videos, up-to-the-minute sports updates, and the latest broken pen stories now. Experience more of MX24 Online. Visit mx24online.com today. MX24. Fun, fearless, and factual.
Start of a new week, the 10th of March 2025. Good morning and welcome to the morning news on the AM Club. My name is Adam Kobe Toussaint. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Toussaint. How are you doing?
Fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. I think you're forgetting something. We're still in Ghana month.
Oh, right. Adam Kobe. Right.
So that's what you want to do right now. You're not allowed to do it because I made a mistake. Doesn't mean you should continue with that.
Right.
But how are you doing? How was your weekend?
Right. It was very restful.
Was it?
Yeah.
So you came refreshed.
Yeah.
What's in the news?
So much is in the news over the weekend. Big story is the reconstitution of some committees in Parliament under Article 2035 of the Standing Orders of Parliament. Some committees in Parliament were reconstituted. We've seen new faces going to chair and be ranking members on those committees as well. But then the Finance Minister put out a statement yesterday about the nature of how his case is going. He says that he's shocked, he's dismayed, he used certain words. We'll get into it, we'll read through that as well. But then also over the weekend, tragic incidents happened at Achimota where as part of their, I think the 100-year celebration of the school, two old students lost their lives after the event. So they were crossing the Achimota highway and then they were knocked down by a vehicle, pronounced dead. So very unfortunate, but yeah. Also, the woman at the heart of the NSS scandal, Gifty Owari, she returned to the country over last week. NIB called her in for questioning. Allegedly, she's been detained by NIB. As to why she's been detained, we do not know. We've already had conversations from legal representative Martin Kpebu saying that, you know what, if her detention goes beyond 24 hours, he's going to step in to represent
But
her.
I think she has been released. That's what I saw, a statement like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I saw a statement that she has been released.
Right. So I haven't seen that statement, but as at this morning, we did not know clearly if she was...
Oh, again, it is alleged. It was on social media, so you cannot authenticate that story.
Well.
But it was alleged that she was detained and then subsequently released.
Right.
And in Kofubi Church saying Kusia Ganiade. It's a story beans. But Nyamini one day. But I mean, that and quite a number of stories in the news. Please go ahead with it.
Let's get into our stories for this morning. As President John Dramani Mahama is set to embark on a working visit to Burkina Faso today, March 10, 2025. Now, during his stay in Ouagadougou, President Mahama will meet with his Burkinabe counterpart, Captain Ibrahim, to strengthen bilateral relationships between the neighboring nations. The discussions will focus on enhancing cooperation in areas of mutual interest, reflecting on the strong historical and geographical ties between Ghana and Burkina Faso. The two leaders are expected to deliberate on the security situation in the Sahel region, the sub-regional stability and international geopolitical development. Now, giving his shared perspective on key issues of global governance, their meeting is anticipated to reinforce strategic collaboration between the two countries. Now, this will mark President Mahama's first official trip to Burkina Faso since assuming office on January 7, 2025, following his election victory on December 2024. Meanwhile, President John Dramani Mahama met with Malian transitional leader to discuss mutual trade, security, and related concerns on the Confederation of Sahel States. Now, during his meeting, here's what he had to say.
To thank President Goita for allowing Prime Minister Mega to visit Ghana when I was being inaugurated as president. That was a good sign. It was appreciated by the people of Ghana, and so I came to say thank you. But we also took the opportunity to discuss issues of bilateral cooperation and trade and economic cooperation between our two countries. We know that for a very long time, our countries trade amongst each other. Our people travel freely amongst each other. There's a big Malian population living in Ghana. They are involved in business. They are settled peacefully in Ghana. They're actually citizens of both Ghana and Mali. And so we had the opportunity to discuss how we can make our economic relations even stronger. And we also have a transit corridor. A lot of long-distance drivers, both Malian and Ghanaians, convey goods from our ports to Mali and transport goods from Mali back to our port for export. And so we discussed how we can remove the challenges so that it's easy for these drivers who are involved in the transit of goods to be able to do their work without any problems. And most importantly, we discussed issues of how we can strengthen our defense cooperation in the light of the fight against terrorism and how Ghana can be of help in terms of cooperating with the Alliance AES in terms of the fight against terrorism, because we all occupy the same sub-region and terrorism in one country is a threat to all of us. And so we had quite a discussion on how we can strengthen our bilateral relations in terms of the fight against terrorism. And finally, we discussed the revival of the Permanent Joint Commission for Cooperation between Mali and Ghana. The last meeting was in 2011 in Accra, and the next meeting was supposed to take place here, but due to some circumstances it didn't happen. And so we're looking to revive it so that as early as possible we can send our technical team to come and sit with our Malian counterparts and discuss how we can increase and strengthen the cooperation that exists between our two countries. We discussed it, and we recognize that there's been some issues of trust, problems with trust between the two groups. But at the same time, I think that we must establish mutual respect for each other. And I'm sure that if we're able to do that, we can continue to work together. I think that there's a choice that Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger have taken, but that won't be an impediment in us continuing to have our bilateral relations with all these countries. We're brothers, and God put us in this sub-region for a purpose. And so whether we like it or not, we have to live together. And so I think that we must establish.
That was President John Dramani Mahama giving us a rundown of what happened, what transpired during his meeting with the Malian transitional leader, where they discussed issues of mutual trade, security, and related concerns of the Confederation of Sahel States. Is expected to touch base in Burkina Faso later today to have bilateral discussions with the president of, or the transitional leader in Burkina Faso as well. We'll bring you updates with regards to what happens there in our subsequent broadcasts as well as on our social media pages. And now let's turn our focus to Parliament, where Parliament has announced the leadership of several key parliamentary committees with members appointed to oversee critical sectors of governance, including the finance, health, defense, education, among other sectors. Now, the list of committee leaders includes both government and opposition members. These leaders will spearhead discussions and scrutinize important bills, budgetary allocation, and national programs. Now, let's walk you through the names of the committees that have been reconstituted or that has been announced by Parliament. So there's the Privileges Committee, the Subsidiary Legislation Committee, the Assurances Committee, the Finance Committee, Public Accounts Committee, the Committee on Information and Development, the Budget Committee, the Committee on Gender, Children and Social Welfare, the Constitutional and Legal Affairs Committee, the Committee on Food, Agriculture and Cocoa Affairs, the Lands and Natural Resources Committee, the Health Committee, the Works and Housing Committee, Local Government and Rural Development Committee, the Information and Communication, the Foreign Affairs Committee, the Employment, Labor Relations and Pensions Committee, the Defense Interior, Trade and Industry Committee, Trade, Industry and Tourism, the Environment, Science and Technology, Education, Youth and Sports, Energy, Roads and Highways, as well as the Security and Intelligence Committee. Now let's walk you through some members who are on these committees. First off is the Privileges Committee, which is headed by Bernard Ahiafo. Now, the Privileges Committee is going to determine what emolument each member of Parliament gets to receive in terms of their duration or their service in Parliament. He's chairing that committee, and the ranking member is Kwabena Dako Mensah. He's also going to serve with him on that committee. Now, subsidiary legislation, what this committee seeks to do is to review bills or laws that have been passed by Parliament, in terms of governing or whipping both members of the majority and minority side in Parliament, as well as other government agencies. So essentially, regulations made to govern members of government or members who work in government institutions. This committee, the Subsidiary Legislation Committee, is going to review, make sure that these laws are in tandem with the highest law of the land, as the 1992 Constitution, and do not infringe on the rights of laws. And it's going to be chaired by Patrick Yao Boama, a member of the NPP as well. So he is going to chair that committee. Now, the Assurances Committee, this is an interesting committee. Why? Because this committee, the work of the Assurances Committee is to critically make sure or look at promises made by government officials before assuming office, and making sure that these persons stick to their promises and deliver on the promises they have made. And this would be chaired by Dominic Nitiwu, the chairman of the committee, Dominic Nitiwu. Then there's the Finance Committee, chaired by Isaac Adongo. Essentially, is going to look at the finance of the issues related to monetary funding in this country, in terms of making sure that government resources or government money is spent, judiciously, is used for the right reasons, and is going to be chaired by Isaac Adongo. Now, there's the Public Accounts Committee, making sure that the public purse is, well used by public officials. It is used for the right purposes, and is going to be chaired by Abena Osei Asari, a member of the New Patriotic Party as well. Now, let's run you through the Committee on Security and Intelligence. Now, this committee is generally going to be looking at the security, like the name suggests, security and intelligence of the country, making sure that our borders are safe, making sure that every security arrangement or protocol is in check. And this is headed by the Member of Parliament for the Klote constituency, Dr. Zaneto Ajeman Rawlings. Now, she is going to be heading the Security and Intelligence Committee. And for the full details of persons heading the various committees, there are about 23 committees. For the full details of the chairs of the committee, as well as the ranking members on the committee, getting to understand what the job of these committees are, visit mx24.app/voting voices, where you get the latest news and updates with regards to this particular development, where an extensive breakdown of what the committees are, who the ranking members and the chairs of the committee are, as well as the duties of the committees, is on there. Away from that, the Finance Minister, Ken Ofori-Atta, has expressed his dismay over the recent legal tussle with the Office of the Special Prosecutor following allegations of financial misconduct. Now, in an open letter dated the 26th of February 2025, Mr. Ofori-Atta stated that he was puzzled and dismayed by the development, adding that he felt compelled to clarify the situation to the public. Now, his comments come in wake of an OSP issued wanted notice against him, which was later rescinded. Now, let's walk you through the statement released or cited by MX24 News by the former finance minister, and it says, "Greetings. I have been in the news recently in quite a dramatic manner. I thought it important that I share with you the facts surrounding recent events and news articles concerning me and Ghana's Special Prosecutor. I am puzzled and dismayed, as I suspect you must be. I was out of the country on January 24 for medical reasons when the Special Prosecutor invited me to an in-person meeting on February 10, 2025, in connection with 4 corruption and corruption-related cases. I was not the originating nor implementing minister in any of those portfolios. I immediately responded through my lawyers, indicating my willingness to have them provide him with any information he may require to aid in his investigation, given that I will be out of the country for the next few months for medical reasons. The Special Prosecutor rejected the offer to meet with my lawyers, insisting on a firm date for my personal attendance. Instead, on February 11, my home was raided by armed national security operatives. The Special Prosecutor remarked that I had staged the raid on my own home and subsequently launched an international campaign and declared that I was wanted fugitive from justice. We are in a much better position Now, the majority leader apologized on the floor of Parliament for the raid on my home by national security personnel. The special prosecutor has rescinded the declaration and proposed a June meeting. I pray that the special prosecutor will agree to meet with my legal team so we can respond to his investigation on the now 5 cases in order to resolve the situation expeditiously and well before the June appointment. He continues to say that, as you know, I have worked with the candor and forthrightness. I have worked with candor and forthrightness in my personal and professional life these past 40 years. As the longest-serving finance minister in the Republic from 2017 to 2024, and encountering the most far-reaching existential crisis in our lifetime, I have always acted in the best interest of Ghana and Africa, and will continue to do so. I thank you for your friendship and support over the years, the professional work we have done together, and we are continuing commitment to the fierce urgency to build the good society and promote our common humanity. God bless. Signed by Ken Ofori-Atta, the former Minister for Finance, where he's explaining his side of the story, putting out some statements in relation to some alleged cases of corruption and corruption-related offences leveled against him by the Office of the Special Prosecutor. Now, the facts of the case, we know that the Office of the Special Prosecutor invited the former Finance Minister for questioning with regards to the cases leveled against him. The former Finance Minister, fortunately or unfortunately, was out of the country and was not able to heed to the call for an in-person meeting in February from the Finance or from the OSP's office. Later, we saw a notice, or later in development in the story, we saw a raid in the former Finance Minister's home, where we still have not really heard or have not really known the conclusion of that matter. If truly the persons who visited or raided the home were members of national security, or they were members of, a certain security force that raided the home of the finance minister. And if it was national security, the reason behind the raid, we still do not know that. Later, we saw a wanted notice from the OSP's office claiming that Ken Ofori-Atta was a wanted fugitive of justice. Later on, also, we saw that wanted notice was rescinded by the OSP, stating that Ken Ofori-Atta, following a letter received by his lawyers for voluntary return into the country in May this year, that notice was taken off, and then a date was proposed in June for an in-person meeting between the former finance minister, Ken Ofori-Atta, and his legal team with the OSP as well. We hope to see the trajectory of this conversation and how this letter or this statement will be received by the Office of the Special Prosecutor. But from one legal story to another, let's do the NSS story, where Gifty Oware-Mensah, a former Deputy Director of the National Service Authority, NSA, and a current Executive Council member of the Ghana Football Association, has been detained by the National Investigations Bureau, NIB, in connection with an alleged payroll fraud at the National Service Authority. Her arrest is part of an ongoing investigation into a ghost name scandal that has drawn national attention. Now, reports indicate that Oware-Mensah was taken into custody on Friday, the 7th of March, 2025, and remains detained despite multiple attempts to secure her bail. It is alleged that the former NPP General Secretary, John Boama, tried to intervene to facilitate her release, but she was later transferred from the NIB premises to an undisclosed location. As at this morning, well, there are social media reports that she has been released. However, it's not been clarified. No statement has been released by the NIB with regards to her arrest or her release or detention. And we hope that later today we get to see some official statements from the relevant security agencies, either the Ghana Police Service or the NIB, or her lawyers as well, as to explaining what happened, what is really going on, what charges have been leveled against her. But we know that following an investigation by the Fourth Estate with regards to some ghost names on the National Service Authority payroll, her name was at the center of that scandal. Why? Because she was, at the time, the director of the National Service Authority. Later, we saw that she traveled to Morocco for some football-related activity. She returned to the country last week where we had the minority leader, Alexander Afenyo-Marking, stating that she will voluntarily render herself in for questioning together with her legal team. We do not know if she voluntarily rendered herself for questioning and was detained later. We hope that this answers to our question will be given in subsequent statements from the NIB, the Ghana Police Service, her lawyers, the minority as well. Why? Because Alexander Afenyo-Marking was at the Kotoka International Airport when she arrived last week and stated that she would voluntarily render herself in for questioning. We hope to see or hear some statements from these persons as well. But then let's do some tragic news where the Old Achimota Association is in mourning following the tragic deaths of two of its members, Davida Asante Boateng and Lydian Akoli, both affiliated with Spotsford House. Now, the two young women lost their lives in a fatal accident on 7th March 2025 along the Achimota Highway in Accra. According to an official report from the Executive Board of the Achimotan Old Students Union 2024, the victims were returning to the University of Professional Studies here in Accra after attending the annual bonfire celebration at Achimota School. The unfortunate incident occurred at approximately 11:30 p.m. when they were struck by a vehicle while crossing the highway. Eyewitness reports that the vehicle, identified as a black Toyota Corolla, failed to stop after hitting the two women. Bystanders quickly intervened, rushing them to a nearby medical facility where they arrived at approximately 12:02 a.m. the next day. Now, despite the swift response of the medical personnel, Davida Asante Boateng was pronounced dead at 4 a.m. on March 8, 2025. Now, Lilian Akoli, who sustained critical injuries, fought for her life but suddenly succumbed later that morning. An official statement signed by OAA 2024 President Brenda Apreku and the General Secretary Wendy Nakai Tete. The association expressed its deep sorrow over the tragic loss. Let's walk you through the statement released by the Old Student Union. So, official report on the tragic loss of two members of OAA 2024. Dear esteemed members, it is with profound sadness that we announce to the entire OAA 2024 and the general OAA community the tragic loss of two of our beloved members, Davida Asante Boateng and Lilian Akoli, both members of Stopford House, who passed away after a tragic accident on March 7, 2025. The accident occurred on the Achimotan Highway while they were on their way back to the University of Professional Studies, Accra, after attending the annual bonfire celebration at Achimota School, their alma mater. They were knocked down by a vehicle, black Corolla, whilst crossing the highway at about 11:30 p.m. The driver of the vehicle that knocked them down refused to stop, and our mates were rushed to the hospital at around 12:02 a.m. by Good Samaritans. Sadly, Davida was confirmed dead at the hospital at around 4 a.m. on March 8, 2025. Lillian fought bravely for her life, but unfortunately, she also passed away earlier this morning on March 8, 2025. That was 2 days ago. The Old Achimotan Association, OAA 2024, extends our deepest condolence to the families of Davida and Lillian. We will continue to provide support to their families and find ways to honor their memory. We'll keep you updated on any further information we receive with regards to the accident and other related matters. Thank you, and may their souls rest in peace. And it was signed by the OAA President and Secretary to the OAA Group 2024. Some unfortunate news coming in from the Achimota School, where we know over the weekend they celebrated their 100-year anniversary of the school's existence. Well, it's quite unfortunate, but we will be bringing you updates with regards to what happens to them and, you know, the trajectory of this, whether the Ghana Police Service will be notified. I'm sure they have been notified of it. What investigations will be done to apprehend the suspect, and later on in, you know, other developments, what will be done in terms of our roads. Why? Because we know that the Greater Accra Regional Minister, Linda Oklu, and Member of Parliament for the Shawo Sudoku constituency, has announced that within 50 days, there are going to be some street lights on our roads. If you look at some parts of Accra, there's still that grooming or that lacking availability of street lights, leading to lots of road casualties. We hope to see what happens, especially with regards to our highways as well. If the Ghana Roads Authority or the Roads and Transport Ministry would put out some measures to mitigate the rise of rampant or, road crashes that have been happening here in our country, we would definitely be bringing you updates with regards to that. But remember, President John Dramani Mahama will touch down in Burkina Faso today to have bilateral agreements with the leader in Burkina Faso. We will be bringing you updates with regards to that as well. My name is Augustine Adam Kobiti saying that's all for the morning news. Remember, there's more news on MX24GH as well as mx24.app/voting voices. Do well to read and be in the know. Enjoy the rest of the show.
Thank you very much, Kobe Adam, for coming through. Those were very interesting stories, especially for the Achimota old student. Our heart goes out to you from MX24. Now let's move on straight to do some sports right after this.
Visit www.mx24online.com for news, exclusive behind-the-scenes videos, up-to-the-minute sports updates, and the latest broken pen stories now. Experience more of MX24 Online. Visit mx24online.com today. MX24. Fun, fearless, and factual.
Good morning, I'm back here once again. My name's Sedina Edmond still, and this time it's time for sports. Sports brought to you by Betway. Betway bringing you way more chances to win each and every time, and this time it's all about 3 features to help you maintain full control over your betting experience on the platform. Now, I'm talking about cash out, early cash out, and auto cash out features available on www.betway.com.gh. Log on today and start playing. Always remember to bet responsibly, not for persons under the age of 18. And remember that it's regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. With Betway, you always guaranteed to get way more. Let's get right into the stories and start off from the local front, where Accra Heart of Oak, yes, they have been charged by the Ghana Football Association for allegedly allowing unaccredited individuals to enter safe zones at the University of Ghana Sports Stadium. The GFA's club licensing board raised security concerns about the stadium heading into this weekend's actions. However, Hattoh folk have been charged with breaches of Article 8E of the GFA Enhanced Matchday Safety and Security Protocols 2025 and Article 34.6D of the Ghana Football Association Ghana Premier League Regulations 2019 following their Premier League game against Young Apostles over the weekend. They have until March 11, 2025 to respond to the charges. Remember that they also won this particular game by a solitary goal and moves them right up into 3rd position after the games were done yesterday, with Asante Kotoko also returning to winning ways. Let's turn on and get into the international side of things, where it all happened inside Old Trafford as Declan Rice scored a crucial equalizer to help his team, Arsenal, the Gunners, to pull parity against Manchester United. Manchester United went ahead in this particular game through a free kick from Captain Fantastic Bruno Fernandes. However, it needed that all-important equalizer from Declan Rice to make sure that the Arsenal lads left Old Trafford with at least a point. across the weekend. Chelsea also getting that all-important win against Leicester City over the weekend. Much later today, West Ham United, they take on Newcastle United in the final game of the weekend. Let's get across the pond and get into the NBA, where it's getting heated in that particular one, making sure that a lot of teams get into the playoffs and also some into the play-in. Now, Devin Booker, he scored 24 points as Kevin Durant also scored 21.9 rebounds and 8 assists. And the Phoenix Suns, they beat an injury-depleted Dallas Mavericks in that particular game, ending 125-116 in favor of the Suns. Are not having it easier at all, especially having lost their key player, that is Kyrie Irving, to an injury. He's out for the rest of the season, and they are now trying very hard after trading arguably their best player also. So they find themselves in a fix, and the player they traded him for is also injured, so it's not working at all for the Mavs currently. But take away the M, bring in the C, you get Cavs. Cavs, they are on a roll. They won their 15th game, 15th straight game, so they are on a roll. They have already qualified into the playoffs, so we'll see what happens with that particular team. Anyways, that's as far as that is concerned with regards to sports on the AM Club. My name is Sedina Edmond. We are held down by Betway. Betway bringing you way more chances to win each and every time. And now, just log on to betway.com.gh, place a bet, and use auto cash out, special cash out, and early cash out features to maintain full control over your betting experience. We are back at 4 p.m. But remember, we're regulated on the Betway platform by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. With Betway, you're guaranteed to get way more. We're out for now. Au revoir.
Thank you so much, Sedina, for coming through with us. But that basketball commentator, what was he doing over there?
Yeah, it's just, you see, football highlights are different.
No, but I have listened to multiple of what you call it, basketball. They're commentators, right?
Yeah, daily, on the daily, here on the daily.
On a daily. And this
This one is...
Obasabi.
Nah,
But it's all right. He was rapping.
Yeah.
But thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's always refreshing to go through that sports and faith. Catch up with all the fun, the breaking news stories, sports, and business insight on mx24online.com. Now it's time to take a deep dive into the world of entertainment and showbiz. Right after this short commercial break, Daphne will be coming through with entertainment right after this.
Visit www.mx24online.com for news, exclusive behind-the-scenes videos, up-to-the-minute sports updates, and the latest broken pen stories now. Experience more of MX24 Online. Visit mx24online.com today. MX24. Fun, fearless, and factual.
Everybody, you're welcome to Entertainment News segment right here on the AM Club Coffee Daily. My name is Ajwa from Poma. Why are you smiling?
He looks so nice. I didn't look at you when you came through. I was like, okay, let's come to stress my life this morning. You actually look really nice.
Thank you.
Oh, who styled you this morning?
I styled myself.
No, you look absolutely beautiful. Don't go home from here.
I should go away.
Go to room small.
Will you take me?
It's Monday morning. I'm not in the mood.
You're not in the mood.
We'll try on Friday.
Mondays, weekends.
Like,
2 minutes,
man, I'm still. So Monday is Weekend Pro Max. You're supposed to sleep, but yeah, here we are. You actually look really pretty. What's in the world of entertainment?
Of course, today is Monday, so I have to give you guys, the events that have been happening during the weekend. I happen to be at one. Yeah, and I was...
It's not the Euphoria, is it?
It's not Euphoria.
Because last time you were at Euphoria, I didn't like the report.
Yes.
I didn't like the report.
So the way I'm standing.
I petitioned the government to not allow you to Euphoria this year.
You didn't like the reports?
I didn't like the reports I got.
Really?
So I petitioned management to please remove you from Euphoria this year. How are you doing? What's going on? Tell me about the events that went down this weekend.
Okay, so over the weekend in London.
Oh, okay.
I flew to London.
You did not.
I did.
I was there. So I didn't see you. So what's up?
The fact that you didn't see me doesn't mean
you were not there. Facts. Facts.
Don't you just see me?
Facts.
So we had an amazing show. Because I was there. Anyway, we had an amazing show over the weekend. Yeah. Now, let's be for real. I think those in the diaspora celebrate Independence Day more than us.
Oh, fact.
Because tell me why there's Independence Carnival and,
the parade they did
twice
bigger than what we ever did in our entire life.
I know.
I'm not exaggerating, but it was actually very well celebrated out there.
Very well celebrated. And to climax, every celebration they had for the Independence Day, they had, Stonebwoy had a show. At the same time, R2Bs had a show at the same day, at the same time, different venues. Now, prior to that, there were conversations that were had. Even Stonebwoy came out to talk about how he's disappointed and why event organizers do this. And if they had let him know that the R2B show was going on the same time, definitely he would have, done it another time. But we're not talking about that today. We're talking about the success of both shows. It was all sold out. Yeah. It was amazing. Yeah. You can see that everyone goes to whichever one they want to go to. R2Bs hold their water. They have, you know, their fan base. I'm an R2B stan, and Stonebwoy to host, you know, his thing. So everybody went to whichever one they want to go to. If you want to go to this one and go and listen to half of the show, then you come back here. It's your own cup of tea. But for me, since I was there, I had so much fun. Since I was there, I had so much fun. I'm super proud to be a Ghanaian at the moment.
At this point.
Wow.
At this point. Shatta Wale is supposed to have one soon.
Really?
I'm not sure when his is supposed to happen. But obviously, I have to touch on Shatta Wale, of course, because right after the success, and I keep telling y'all that if Stonebwoy, as young as he is, continues to focus on the focus, he does what he focuses on the focus. He would realize that some sanity will come on the brand, and this success will not be a moment for comparison, but rather pure celebration for great music, amazing creativity, and a talent that is worth celebrating. They turned this entire thing into a bout between fans and water down the entire success of such an amazing show.
Now, when you say this thing, let me take our minds, but I think, was it on Sunday?
Yeah.
MCI Abua posted something. She posted something, you know, congratulating Stonebwoy.
Yeah.
Like, she loves Stonebwoy, and it was a sold-out show.
We know that.
And, yeah. And at the end of the
You
video,
will make them do nonsense. I saw it.
at the end of the video,
I saw it.
She dropped something there.
I saw it.
And I don't know why, because at the end of the day, I don't know if she seems to forget that she is, a public figure. And so if you're to, bring all these little remarks, it shouldn't be. Because at the end of the day, Stonebwoy is his own brand. Shatta Wale is his own brand. They've benefited from each other, fine. But he has put in the work. Shatta Wale will also put in the work when he gets a show. So why is it that you don't celebrate the wins without mentioning the person or attaching? And do you get where I'm coming from?
No, that's what I just said. So unfortunately for people, for fanatics, it's almost as if without the shade, they cannot complete the whole conversation.
Can you even imagine
and
that
it's sad.
When people were even calling her out on it, she was rather arguing in the comment section, Ashimwe. I'm like, girl.
I think that we've seen this before. What do you call it? Aisha Moody did worse. We've seen this before.
Yeah.
It will all come to a point where these creatives will always choose their craft over fans. And because they're only having fans because they are who they are. Okay. And so the moment the eye moves or the focus moves from the act, they lose the value of fans, right? Shatta Wale will always be a legend. And I will say this. When Shatta Wale started doing music, Stonebwoy was still in primary school. Or junior high school. The moment we begin to make this about the brands, arguments like this will come up, right? I believe, and I strongly believe, that Stonebwoy is a big deal, right? And the more we attach him to minute drama like this, the more we water down the hard work this young man is putting into his craft. And that is where my worry comes from. But anyway, they got to do what they got to do.
Exactly. All right, we're moving on to our next event. Now, I happened to be there over the weekend. 2000-year group of Achimota Old Students Association. They held their Grand Debby. So it was actually a 4-day activity, right? And so they had Founders Day. There were so many performances, so much dignitaries were there. And so let's get into it. Achimota School was buzzed with excitement as the 2000-year group celebrated their 25th anniversary with the thrilling 4-day Founders Day event. The festivities kicked off on Thursday, March 6th, with a school feast followed by a torchlight procession and bonfire on Friday, March 7th. The grand finale on Saturday, March 8th, featured a colorful derby, while the celebration concluded with a Thanksgiving service on Sunday. The event was a joyous reunion for the alumni, marking a significant milestone in their journey. Let's take a look. Oh, that was fun. Things I've done in CI school. It's not even this one. I did ballet, did culture, I did salsa, I did all of them. So,
but here you are.
Here I am. I see it was rehearsals for when I go
the big
package. So as I'm sitting inside, there's ballet inside
you.
There's salsa inside me, all of that. You know? Oh, that was an amazing one. I had fun. I had the opportunity to interact with some of the children, and they spoke about things they loved about Chimota School. I'm sure the videos are going to come up on our social media, so you guys need to stick and stay with that. Anyway, my name is Adjoa Frimpoma, and today I hope I updated you on all the events that happened during the weekend. Mimi, over to you.
Thank you so much. Unfortunately, all of that celebration ended in sadness with the two members of I'm not quite sure.
Old students.
Yeah, old students passing away. But then again, we sent our hearts out to them this morning, and great stuff out there. Thank you so much. I was going to call you Daphne, but Adjoa Frimpoma. In today's dynamic business environment, a robust workforce is pivotal to achieving success. This is why we have thoughtfully designed our corporate health plans to empower your employees and bolster your organization's performance. With Equity Health Insurance, your investment transcends ordinary insurance. It represents a commitment to the future of your company. Our health plans are individually tailored to accommodate the unique needs of your employees, offering comprehensive coverage and exceptional benefits. Our support goes beyond administrative tasks and premiums. At Equity Health Insurance, we are dedicated to standing by your side throughout the entire journey. So please feel free to reach out to us on 050-1515-124 or 0539-135073 so that we can further enhance the level of service we provide to you. Equity Health Insurance, we say always here for you. Are you looking for the best value data and voice offers that are tailored to your unique needs at Telecel? We understand everyone has their own preference. That's why we have the unbeatable Made For Me bundles made just for you. The Made For Me bundles are affordable, customized data and voice packages personalized for you. Simply dial *530#, that's *530#, or download the Telecel Play app to subscribe to your special Made For Me bundle. Telecel, connecting energies. Now it's time to get straight into our news review segment right here on the show. I know there's going to be a lot of fire. Today we're doing it with all ladies, so please join us. Let's have a conversation. Still commemorating World International Women's Day.
Visit www.mx24online.com for news, exclusive behind-the-scenes videos, up-to-the-minute sports updates, and the latest broken pen stories now. Experience more of MX24 Online. Visit mx24online.com today. MX24. Fun, fearless, and factual.
Every day is packed with its own surprises. You never know which thrill is around the corner.
Feel good. Feel good.
Or how it will play out. There's a sense of excitement.
Did our plane just stop? Another cash out.
That adds a little magic to my everyday.
Feels like a party tonight.
Michael has been exceptional, surpassed all his targets. Let's hear from this year's Staff of the Year.
This wouldn't be possible without a strong relationship. You've been with me through university. All those days of studying together just to ace those tests, which we did, by the way. And those days of the side hustles, you were there. All of these have prepared me for this moment. Cowbell Coffee has been there with me every single step of the way.
For the big days and the seemingly ordinary, creamy Cowbell Coffee is with you every moment.
FDA approved. Welcome to a brand new season of VIP Access. That's what we're talking about.
VIP Access Podcast is back in 2024 with a brand new season. It's bigger and badder. From Australia, Nigeria, South Africa, Uganda, Rwanda, and Kenya. Season 4 of VIP Access Podcast will once again present you with a cross-section of Africa's brightest music stars and industry gurus, sharing with you tips and tricks to making it in the game. VIP Access will also highlight East Africa's rising artists in hip-hop, Afro house, classical music, Afro pop, and jazz music genres. Brace yourself for an exciting new season that will spotlight the expansion of African music while exploring the role of women in the music industry.
We're walking superheroes, and we sometimes we don't even see it in ourselves.
VIP Access Season 4 is proudly supported by the Australian High Commission.
Step into the world of fashion, where creativity meets innovation and beauty goes hand in hand with style. On Fashion Wednesday, we delve into the journeys of influential voices in the fashion and beauty industries here in Ghana. From emerging designers to seasoned professionals, we explore their stories, their crafts, and vision for fashion's future. Get the inside scoop on the latest trends, expert styling tips, and beauty hacks to elevate your look. Join me every week as we celebrate the art, the passion, and the people behind the scenes who make fashion more than what we just wear. This is Fashion Wednesday, where fashion comes to life. Catch Fashion Wednesday every Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. on MX24 TV.
The legend. KNIILANTE.
It's a decision.
That love me.
Amazing. On the show, I am John Jermaine.
Drama, betrayal, faith, forbidden love. What would you do when life writes a chapter you didn't ask for? Every broken pen has a story to tell. Every story has a lesson to learn. But the question is, how do you fix it? The Broken Pen Show is back. Real stories, raw truths, and maybe, just maybe, the answers you've been looking for. Hi, ladies. Hi. Your story isn't over. Let's fix it together with a cold glass of Nax cocktail. Catch the Broken Pen Show every Thursday at 8 p.m. only on MX24 TV. My name is Yavita, and I am your host. Cheers.
I want to find out one thing. What happened with you and Kwekuti?
One day Kwekuti calls me and says, bro, I want to do my solo. Ghana, if somebody go, blah, blah, even for the media space right now, go talk your mind right now, they go talk to you, they go blacklist you. Event organizers, they go, then boom, balance one.
Honestly, was a part of our group. One of the times we featured on 9,010 labs. Fluid, so I called him, so speak to my manager. Where?
Patience is a virtue that carries a lot of weight. Yeah. Always know that you live to fight another day.
I feel say we musicians, one thing we like do, we know how to create. But the business part, we know the add them to whatever we do.
Me right now, as I stand here, everything is about marketing. If I do,
The people I was looking up to, these two boys called famous people. Their work looked like they had like they were like 17 people or 20 people.
Okay, you're watching MX24 TV, and this your boy Perez Music. Ciao!
Hi guys, how you doing? This is your boy SDK, and I'm here on MX24. It's fun. It's fearless. And it's factual.
What's up, everyone? My name is Adina Thembi, and you're watching MX24. We are fun, fearless, and factual. Get it right.
What's up? My name is Akwabwa, and you guys are watching MX24. Keep watching. I love you.
They say the portion they gave me was unknown. What I will become was never ever told. Now you're watching the beast in me unfold. I'm immortal. Dracula untold. What's up, people? This is your rap goddess, Eno Baroni, and you're watching MX24. Keep watching it. One tear say, dead it.
Welcome back to the AM Club right here on MX24. If you're just joining in, you made the right choice. I keep telling you this on the show, that you're joining the best morning show in the capital. Thank me later. My name is Miriam Udwa-Commensa. We're getting into our news review segment of the show. It's Monday, so we're going to get into that. But amazing thing happening in the studio today is I'm doing this with all women. It's all females, still talking International Women's Day. If I haven't wished you happy International Women's Day, it's a couple of days after, but still happy International Women's Day. Later on today, on the dish, we're going to be delving into that topic deeply, and for you to understand the importance of the value of celebrating women on International Women's Day. But that is why I have all my panelists today as female. Now, we're going to be getting into that pretty shortly, but before we do that, at Equity Health Insurance, the well-being of our members takes precedence. We recognize the unique healthcare needs of individuals and families, which is why we are delighted to present our Ebusha Health Plan. This health plan is crafted to promote the enduring health and happiness of you and your loved ones. Our plans are meticulously tailored to offer comprehensive and competitive health insurance coverage for individuals, families, and smaller groups. Access to quality care is just a phone call away, offering continual assurance of your family's welfare. Contact us today on 0546 645465 or 0503-860-381. Equity Health Insurance. We say always here for you. With Jibu Water, staying refreshed has never been easier. Jibu Water provides healthy and clean water for you and your loved one, as your go-to water for drinking and cooking. With options of our innovative 20-liter bottles that come with a tab, 18.9-liter bottles, your dispensers will have a breath of new life as our clean and hygienic Jibu Water for your consumption. Whether you need a cool drink to quench your thirst or fresh cooking water to make your meals taste its best, Jibu Water is the answer to your clean water needs. Order for your clean water now by calling us on 020-9845-817 or visit our website at www.jibuco.com/gh for more information about our brand. Jibu Water, a better life. Now for our conversation, we're discussing big national political trends this morning. And like I said earlier, we're going to be joined by two wonderful ladies, and they're going to help me bisect. And I think in journalism school, I had this colleague who used to say keke shit. I still not, gotten the actual definition for that. But if there's a definition for it, please share with us on the show. I have Karen Essiful-Ansah, is a lawyer, joining us. Good morning. And also I have, Irene Hattoh.
Yeah, Irene Hattoh.
A communication team member, Pum Katamanso, founder, she speaks NPP. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are we doing?
We good.
You see, the lawyers in the room are acting like. Someone said, "Now lawyer you be, you know be God." But that's just on the license. Good morning. Happy International Women's Day to you, beautiful ladies.
Happy International Women's Day.
How are you doing this morning? Great. Awesome, awesome. Big conversations. But before we get into that, International Women's Day celebration. For many, why are we celebrating International Women's Day? A day for women to be celebrated. Why? And in your opinion, do you think it's relevant? Do you think it adds anything to the movement of women being included in big conversations?
Oh, good morning. I'd like to say good morning to your viewers. And happy International Women's Day to all women in Ghana.
We take them.
The whole world. Yes, it's very important that women are celebrated. And you know the role that the women play in our society. You know that without us, I mean, even right from our homes, we play a very critical role in decision making. Right from the upbringing of the children, going through, I mean, work, impacting on our society and all that. So it's very important that women are brought in the limelight, especially when it comes to politics. Women are really, I mean, empowered to come into the limelight to support, I mean, or in decision and making. So it's very, 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 very important. Very, very important that we celebrate women, especially women who are very, I mean, resilient, who are very strong and very ambitious in things and very dedicated to things that they do and achieve. So it's very important to bring women into the limelight, and we also celebrate them as well.
Right, right. Because this is not part of the conversation, but I just wanted to get our bits on that particular celebration as a result of us sitting here this morning. You want to add something, or we should just get into our story?
Actually happy you brought it up.
Oh, I'm glad.
I'm worried that the whole IWD thing is turning into some mantra that everyone is peddling these days. It seems as if we're just talking more and not doing much. Because even though women are taking for, I mean, I'm here as a woman. Some time back, I couldn't come and sit on a show like this. This is really male-dominated. So I'm happy that women are taking center space, but there's a lot more work to be done. This year's theme was accelerate action. I think we need more action. The talking is enough. We've done enough paneling and women talking. And when we go and we are looking for jobs, we need to get the jobs. We need to get equal pay, same as our male counterparts. We need to see those things translate into real life action, not just every year 8 March we just go IWD
and then dress nicely.
Exactly.
Enough of it. We need
beautiful colors.
Exactly.
It should go beyond the colors.
Yes, exactly. I want to add something to what she said, and she said something that we've done a lot of talking about it, and I also want to add my voice that the women ourselves, we should be able to give ourselves the chance. We should be able to kind of train each other, empower each other, because apart from we doing the talking, apart from we wanting to get the jobs, apart from we wanting to be in the limelight and all that, when it comes to us, we should be able to, I mean, empower ourselves. We should be able to help ourselves. Because most of the time you find women in the limelight, you find women who can train other women to come up to where they are, and they are not willing to do it. And at the end of, as she said, every year we come, we meet, we talk about it and all that. Me, politically, I get very disappointed when appointments are being made and we can't even get 30% of women in parliament, in cabinet, even currently in cabinet, how many women are there? But meanwhile, we have a lot of women who are into politics. And sometimes I do ask myself, what are these women? What leverage, what platform are they giving to other women who wants to come up to where they are? So sometimes it's not just we wanting to be seen out there or we wanting to get involved out there. We ourselves also need to open up and create that enabling environment for us to also come into the So I think it's a really broader
it's actually interesting that I brought this up because it's not part of the conversations we're supposed to have this morning. But just to simply add to what you just said, and I am very happy that you brought that up. If you missed it out, I've been very sad that we didn't touch on it. But later today, like I said on the dish, we talked extensively on the reason and importance of International Women's Day. But one of the things my guest said, or my guest spoke about before we got on the show, was that we as women, the new crop of women that we have, or the women that we have in vying for positions or wanting to be called into positions, we're not prepared 5 years ago.
Exactly.
We're not prepared 10 years ago, as opposed to our male counterparts who have always wanted these positions, so they were prepared, had mentors that trained them. You will put a woman in that position, but she's not prepared. So it's not about putting women there, it's about putting prepared women. So that the onus lies on us now to raise women to the level that we are at. At your position, you can raise young women so that if you're not there, we can have more representation because you're prepared. So you see, the conversation goes beyond just talking to work. Thank you, ladies, for helping me do this. Now let's get into the big conversations. Ghana 68 independence. I think the conversation now is that it reflects the state of the economy. Because why are we not having a big celebration? And the reason was that financially we're not in a great space. And so we needed to tone it down when it came to the celebration. What are your takes on the money that was purported to have been used to celebrate? And of course, the size of the celebration this year. I'm going to go to you, Ma'am.
Oh, okay. So, about our independence, Ghana, we've come a long way, and it's been 68 solid good years, and we've gone through a lot of process. We've gone through a lot of, decisions to be where we are, starting from our former president, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, throughout to all the leaders that came to now, President Mahama. And you know that our celebrations has been a celebration that has been part of us since the time that we had the independence. And last year, for instance, last year, for instance, the monies that were used for the celebration, as you rightly said, there's been quite people saying that considering the economic situations that we were in back there, it could have, done it different way. But my take here is that, you know that before, the celebrations were normally done at the Independence Square. It's been like that for so many years. So when the previous government came on board, they saw the need that, we need to let this go through all the regions, so that everybody can have a feel of how the Independence Day celebration is. Apart from that, it also have its economic benefit that comes to the people in that region at that particular time that we are celebrating the Independence Day. But this year, we all know that, we've gone through a series of economic hardship, little, since about 4 years ago when we were hit with the COVID and all that. So now that the economy is recovering, the government now said, okay, there's no money, so let's limit the celebration to the Jubilee House so that we can cut down cost. But one of the things that, baffles my mind a little is, if we are cutting down cost and we wanted to do it at the Jubilee House, which was fine, we had to do the celebrations too at other regions across the country. How much did that cost the country, or how much did that cost the nation? So putting us at now, we don't really have the figure of how much all those celebrations cost, in addition to what happened at the Jubilee House. So it will be a little bit dicey to know the amount of cost, or to know the reduction of cost that, or the money the estate made out of this celebration, because I don't really get it. Because if we are to cut down costs and we are just doing Jubilee House, I was thinking that the other regions could have necessarily not really have that, parade and have that celebration.
Okay. I believe that and I stand to be corrected, what I understood was done in other regions was just the parade, just the marching, the students marching as usual, or as they would have had the opportunity to go and march at the Black Star Square, and it's I don't think it's usually a lot of all the regions are represented. It's just a handful of schools that are represented.
Even in Independence Square.
Yes,
it's not all the schools that are
exactly.
It's just a handful of schools that represent. All the...
Yeah, so I think what happened in the regions, and again, like I said, I stand to be corrected. I think what happened in the regions was just the march passes, not the entire parade and events like that in all the regions. I believe that's what I understood happened. If anything else happened, please share with us. And of course, I'm sure you would need clarity on that as well.
Oh yes, I will.
Because I think it was only the student that marched. It wasn't an event that was, put together like what we had at the Black Star Square. Because I think that one of the things that we were hoping that we would get, because at every primary level, we all want to go to the Black Star Square to go and march. So we're feeling like the children were going to miss out on that. But they said we're going to give out opportunities for them to be able to march in their schools as usual, or as they would have done in the Black Star Square, and then that was going to be it. It wasn't like a whole event like what we did in Koforidua or in the voting.
But as I said, these celebrations are something. It's a celebration that has always been with us, and this particular time is the only time that we are. We are seeing it. It happened at when COVID came.
Yes.
It happened once. It happened once, and this is the second time. It's happening. Yes. So the main purpose was to cut down costs, to save some money for the state. That was the main, purpose. So if it was to cut down the way for the state, then we should know how much. We should know how much that we have. We should know how much that the state has made from these celebrations that we did.
Okay, so I also heard on the news, and of course, Honorable Felix Ofosu-Kwakye mentioned that 10% of what was used last year was what they used, and that 10% of 15 million Ghana cedis. So that's 1.5 million was used for the celebration. So if we're asking for the cost, that's how much they used.
Okay, so the previously was 15 million, and they used 10% of that
for this year's celebration.
Yes. So the state made about 1 point. The state made about...
but that's a good amount of money. 10% of...
so if the state is making, that we all want, the state to progress.
Yes.
So if the state has made that amount of money, and that money can be channeled through maybe agric, or put at an institution that will, support women, or any other institution that will promote, the growth of the country, then that's fine.
That's fine.
Yeah.
You have no problems at all.
Yeah, because we you see, one thing I always say that the fact that I'm NPP or she's NDC or we are doing politics, the nation comes first before our personal interest and all that. So if the state has benefited and that money can be channeled maybe through the gender ministry that will affect some children, some street children somewhere, some hawker somewhere, if that money can be channeled through something that can benefit Ghanaians, then there's no problem.
There's no problem.
Yes, the fact that I am MPP doesn't mean that I will have to, even if, someone is benefiting something from, something good is coming out from a decision somebody has made, I'll have to condemn it at all costs. Oh no, because we are building the nation.
Do you know what I'm going to do right now? Do you guys don't think that we should be bringing more women on the show? Because there's some sanity in the show today. I'm not saying I love my men, I love them, but hey, okay, please, you on the 68th celebration.
Not to belabor the point, but I'm happy that she's talking more about nationalism. Yeah. Because preparing for this show, I asked myself, what really is the essence of Independence Day? Is to remember what our heroes, nationalists in the past did for us. And that's struggle was bloody. People lost their lives for crying out loud. So what is the essence of excess pomp and circumstance just to celebrate a day's activity? So if the president sees a fit to cut down costs, he inherited a distressed economy, as he has been saying. It seems as if he wants to leave a good legacy to prevent all these overspending and everything. So honestly, the youth of today, we are more, we are inclined towards nationalism more than partisanship, and that's really a good thing for me. I think it's really good that they were able to save that much money. Would of course like to see, in the name of accountability, what was really spent in other regions, like she's saying. I didn't even know. And she said something about how the parade is taken to other regions so that they can have a feel. So if that's what they did, then I think it's all for the best. The young people or the children got to experience their march. The main thing was in Accra. We had just something small to remember what our former leaders did. And I think that's good enough for a third world country that's struggling like us. The president was...
It was a very reasonable... Yes. And I think a lot of people also agree that the first time when the former president, Nana Akufo-Addo, suggested that the celebration be taken to other regions, a lot of people commended it because, again, it gives other children an opportunity to take part. Now we got to the crossroads where we don't have money, so we need... And we are crying for a better economy. So if it's been dropped down, then why not commend it as well? So thank you so much for giving us that summit in this conversation.
She said something that the president inherited a distress. Oh my God.
And she also added that, as he has been saying. So this is not from my mouth.
Honestly, I don't know why you're coming to.
So that is where it's coming from, because we all keep hearing him say that I inherited a distressed economy. Some Ghanaians agree with him because of one or another thing they do, whether they are being affected directly by the distressed economy. But we want to really make it a quote from him. So she quoted him.
Oh yeah. So I just want to avoid this.
Yes. She quoted him.
I totally disagree with him.
But also, still on the growth of the economy and, of course, the country at heart, Cabinet approves 2025 budget. Kwache Ofosu conference, which means that tomorrow we're definitely going to be hearing from the finance minister. He had an X-Space yesterday with Kali J, and he highlighted a few things that they're going to be touching on. But let me quickly go through the statement so we can get into the conversation. So Minister of State in charge of Government Communication, Felix Kwache Ofosu, has announced that Cabinet has officially approved the 2025 budget, paving the way for its presentation in Parliament tomorrow. Speaking at, of course, so let me quickly jump into it. He assured Ghanaians that the fiscal plan is designed to stabilize the economy while maintaining social intervention. The cabinet meeting chaired by President John Dramani Mahama provided an opportunity to view key policy proposal and assess the political and economic application of the budget. One of the things that I was very concerned about yesterday from the space was Kali J asked that, and I'm not going to make this about Kali J. He asked for some questions of Ghanaians be posed to the finance minister through his page. So these questions were going to be put together and presented to the finance minister to speak on whilst presenting the budget. I think that was the idea. But then the budget had been approved long ago. So I don't know how these questions are going to be answered, and I don't know what kind of questions they're going to be sending across. But what are your expectations from tomorrow's budget presentation? I'm going to take that from you.
Okay, so I'm pretty excited. In the beginning, some fiscal decisions were taken. And people were raising concerns that there's no budget. Where are you going to get the money to do this? So finally, the budget is going to be read, and then we're all going to know what's what. I listened to the space because, first of all, I was really happy that a finance minister is coming down to our level.
Yes.
I know that some people will not agree with me, but in the past, we didn't have it like that. So I also watched him go to Makola Market to, interact with the market women. It's just showing some inclusivity, which is what we all want. I heard him say something that there's some money, taxes, especially. My concern mainly is the taxes, because it's been difficult. She will not agree with me because I said the president inherited and stressed the economy, But we can feel it in our pockets because then you're going to the market with this amount of money and you can barely buy anything. I think that's a good thing. I didn't read anything economics from secondary school. I avoided economics for some reason. So honestly, I can't tell you the ins and outs of it, but I can feel it in my pockets, and that's good enough for me. So I am hoping that the nuisance taxes would be eliminated. And
you also tell me that nuisance.
Yes, nuisance. I mean, not to be petty, but if we are recovering loot from some people, it can take care of half of the things that we are crying about.
Is that true?
Oh, yes.
Okay,
so
ma'am.
if they want to take it off, it will really do a lot for we, the youth, because purchasing power has been reduced drastically, and I really need something to be done about that. He said something like the monies that are being taken from us as taxes and levies are not going into the consolidated fund. If it's not going there, then where is it going to? We need to know those things. We need the accountability and probity like they've been touting. So that's one thing I'm pretty excited about. I'm also excited about the recalibration of the energy sector. Like he said, I hear a lot of people lambasting this current government, which has been in power for barely 100 days.
I'm telling you.
That Dumso, I mean, President Mahama was tagged that, which was why a lot of people booted him out and brought this government. And at that time, he instituted the ESLA, which, you know, was quite a nuisance then. Even the NPP touted it as bad. You know, why are you taking all this money? So he ignores all the noise and then collects this ESLA to tackle the Dumso. And you come into power, you deplete the ESLA and leave the energy sector in debt of about 70 billion Ghana cedis. How do you expect us to run without electricity? And then now every 2 seconds when the lights goes off, it's like, hey, Mama, the guy just came back to power barely 100 days ago, you know. So I think that if they are going to do something about the energy sector, they really need to correct this Dumso thing. I feel like it is not fair that some people are taking the backlash for what other people have
However,
done.
they are the ones in power.
Yes, they are the ones in power. So we are not taking excuses. Yes, we expect them to get to work.
Absolutely.
So that's my expectation for the budget.
Okay, ma'am. That's her expectation. She'll be looking for it.
We'll start from where
she ended. Don't throw so they can't be doing this. You just throw so let her. Don't come and do this. Yeah, please.
So I'll start from where she ended.
That's the energy sector.
The energy. I wasn't even going to talk about it, but since she brought it up, she said the previous government left a debt about 70 billion for this new government. You know, before the elections, our president now had told us that when, in case he was voted for, we should give him a period to honeymoon for a while. And I have always been with the opinion that you've been in opposition for 8 years. And even on the campaign platforms, you had said things were bad and blah, blah, blah. So you've taken 8 years to assess exactly what is going on in the country. So I don't get her when she's saying that he's just been in power almost 100 days and we are saying he should fix
I mean, also considering the fact that he said that 120-day social contract is going to fix a lot of things, we cannot give him honeymoon.
But that was my expectations. You just go on to her expectations of the budget.
Then she said he solved Dumso.
Yes.
The president now solved Dumso then.
Yes.
Which is not true.
Which is facts.
It is not fact.
It's facts.
Very viable fact.
A very viable fact because the Eswal government actually gave him credit without giving him credit. They said from your former president Nana Addo Dankwa, he said Dumso was a problem under the Mahama government. He solved it. He should not be given credit for it because it was his responsibility to have solved that issue. So we shouldn't give him credit for it.
So let me finish my statement.
Please go ahead.
The president then didn't solve Dumso because Dumso took the whole country for about 4 years. So I'm going to ask you, if you are saying he solved it, at what point? Which year? and time.
2017.
Did he solve it?
2017, Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, your just vice president, said it on Peace FM in his interview. And he said that, yes, so it wasn't Nana Dankwa Kufuor, it was Dr. Mahmoud Baumia who said that the Dumsor, we don't have Dumsor anymore. The light situation has been solved with extra power in
my dear, she said something that
the ESLA was there to take care of it. So when they put the money down, what do you want to use the money for?
She said something that she said not to read economics, and that if she goes to the market, I mean, she does not feel
she feels it in her pocket.
Yes. Now we were in this country. If you say you have solved Dumsor,
yes,
we were in Dumsor for 4 years, and 4 years is a whole term of a president.
But he solved it in 2017 before he left.
He did.
I don't know why you're getting your
honestly,
but it's public knowledge.
Yes, it's public, but he didn't, because I'm saying he did it because you cannot say that you solved Dumsor just 2 months when you are exiting office. Meanwhile, we have been in Dumsor for 4 good years. So what happened to all these years that were in Dumsor?
So let's
assume, example, now the lights are off here, and you are using to power it.
Yes.
How much is it costing? I mean, the station. How much is it costing it? So now he does not have the luxury to lament. He does not have it. All he needs to do is to fix it, because for 8 years, if we left a debt of 70 billion, as she is saying, the light has been on for how many years? 8 solid good years.
At what cost to the state?
Exactly.
Even
at what cost to the state?
Did you know that you left, I mean, even more than what you have left
no,
for
but that's
in the
not
energy
true,
sector?
And in any case,
it is.
So she came in as a nationalist.
You left. I came in as a nationalist.
When you started talking about how you care about whether it's NPP or NDC, you don't care.
Yeah, so I am
2 months to time, he leaves this money in the COFEX that as I'm exiting, when you come, use it. What stops you from using the money to correct it?
My problem with Dumsor issue is that you are not talking about the years that we were in darkness.
It's in the past. We are moving forward.
In the past, the past is there to guide us.
Okay, so now move on.
The past is there to guide us.
That.
So what happened to all the years that people were in darkness? What happened to all the years people lost their businesses? What happened to all the years people lost their monies? What happened to all those years? That is why history is there. We fall back and we are guided by it. So you can't say that it's in the past.
Okay.
So now moving forward, I have 3 expectations.
Okay.
You see, this energy, I didn't really want to go there because it's a whole, I mean, discussion back and forth.
I'm entitled to them.
I have 3 expectations on the budget.
Yes.
1, the government promised to take away e-levy. He promised to take away e-levy. He promised to take away betting.
The tax that you brought.
Okay, so I'm going to allow you. Please allow you to speak. I'm sorry.
The e-levy that we brought.
Please speak.
The e-levy that we brought. Now we brought it.
Did you bring it?
Now, we brought it. But they said they didn't want it.
Yeah, we don't.
So
I am saying my expectation.
Please let us know your expectation.
My expectation is, 1, the government is going to take away e-levy, which I expect them to do the needful and take it out tomorrow. And I mean, information to, reaching access. And the e-levy thing is not really going to go away because VAT is going to be increased. When VAT goes up, communication, how do you call it, the Airtel, when you do Momo, you know that when you do Momo on Airtel, you don't really take the charges and all that. Now all those people are going to take charges when you do transactions. So it's just like robbing Peter to pay Paul. It's just the same thing. They are just taking, if only they can take the e-levy out.
Yeah.
If they take it out, they will pass the back door and increase the VAT, increase other places that, will generate the same amount of money that they were, were getting from the e-levy. So just, passing the back door to kind of, to robbing Peter to pay.
Okay.
And my third expectation is reducing borrowing. Just 100 days. 100 days. I don't know if we've been up to the 100 days and they have borrowed 67 billion already.
You can't compare to what the
my dear, you see, I don't want to do this compare.
Well, yes.
You see, when you go back, you are dragging me to go there.
Okay.
You see, so these are my expectations because if within 100 days, you've been able to borrow 67 billion. See this.
Where is she getting her numbers from? Can you give us
from where
so that we can
exactly?
verify?
From where exactly? Where did we?
You see, we are in the era of disinformation.
Oh,
so
yes. So you can
please put your link out there so that we can verify.
Okay, so I'm going to try to verify.
Yes,
My team and I
fact check.
will try
so
to.
when you said the 70 billion.
It's public knowledge.
So that's what public. So that's why she's going
that's
to
what
verify.
I'm saying. Okay, yes, that's
that's
fine.
why she's going to verify. So when you're talking, I kept quiet.
Yes,
we just don't want you to.
I will speak on that. I'll speak on that.
I kept very quiet. Even if you said something that was true, I didn't like it. I just didn't want to kind of interject.
Let me play the devil's advocate. Let me play the devil's advocate.
So she can find out.
When lawyers sit in the room and they hear something they don't like, then they want to interject. It is in their nature.
Yes.
So please forgive me.
To your number.
So you want to please, this is not a courtroom.
This is not a courtroom. You see, I'm going to fight for you, so please allow it.
So as I said, so far they have borrowed 67 billion. We not even half into the year. We're not even 6 months. We're not even 12 months. And they are borrowing 67 billion already. So my expectation is that they will have to cut down borrowing. And my last expectation is the way our president has turned into a terminator. Terminating people's appointments, sacking people.
Yeah.
I'm really surprised that this is the government that campaigned that they're going to bring jobs. They're going to implement 24-hour economy. I'm very excited about the 24-hour economy. I can't wait tomorrow to hear how they intend to implement it. Because at the end of the day, we all want jobs. There are a lot of unemployment out there. And sometimes from the place I sit and from the place I work, you see people coming looking for jobs, and there's little that you can do to support. So as for me, I'm very happy and excited about the 24-hour economy. But what I don't really agree or understand is, you said 24-hour economy, meaning you're going to, 3 people are going to do one job. So if 3 people are going to do one job, why do you have to sack or lay people off to go home and bring in another set of people? Why didn't you maintain the people there and add extra 2? If, let's say, they bring under 2 persons to come and join you to host the program, why would they ask you to go and bring in the 3 to come and do? That's where sometimes it baffles my mind a little. But I'm very excited about the policy, because at the end of the day, if people around you are working, you're also a little bit at ease. So that are my
expectations for tomorrow.
Expectations for tomorrow. The e-levy, I beg them.
And it's very interesting, Mom, that you bring this up, because your government became in history the first government, not the first, because it's happened in history before, but a government that is propaganda. But we were here. I want to say to you facts, because I'm not a politician, and I'm not with any political party, so nobody can affiliate anything or associate me to anything. I'm just saying that in your campaign, your 2024 campaign, you were the political party that was campaigning against your own policies, i.e. e-levy.
After they cut the cake.
And it was heartbreaking to see that, because if you believed so much in the e-levy, how then were you campaigning against it? Number 2 was that people also came with a school of thought that, listen, at the time we needed e-levy. E-levy house had grown its purpose and maybe has made enough money for the nation. So there's no point for e-levy again. So we need to move past it. If that's what the argument is, then maybe tomorrow we're looking forward to the total termination of that.
No. From where you just ended, this government made it a statement. From day one, they were against it.
So did Baumia.
From day one, they were against it. From day one, look at the process this e-levy thing has to go through Parliament before it was even passed. Okay, so you said that our government campaigned against its own policy. So this is what it is. You know, when nobody knew, the challenge that was ahead, especially with COVID. Just as Mahama is in government now, we don't know what might happen in 2 years. We don't know what might come up within 3 years that will force him to take certain decisions that are very crucial but very difficult, right? So that was what happened to e-levy.
Okay.
it was one of the most difficult decisions the government need to take then.
Is that how you celebrate a difficult decision, by cutting a cake to celebrate?
My dear,
after we communicated our displeasure about the nuisance tax.
The one you are taking me back. No. Anytime you interject, you make me forget.
I'm not interjecting for the sake of it.
No, if you interject, you are making me forget.
You are misinforming the public.
I am not.
Let her land. Let her land.
I am not. I am saying that I am not. I mean, shying away from the fact that the government didn't make that decision. All I'm saying is that these decisions were one of the toughest decisions the government had to make at that time.
Okay.
And I even said that going forward, you don't know what your president will be meeting. What you are going forward.
My president, you mean our president?
Maybe he will get to a point that he will be forced to make certain decisions that, I mean, he himself don't want to, but at the moment or the times that we find ourselves in, he needs to make it. That is what I'm trying to say, and that is not misinformation.
Okay.
That is not misinformation. So the president the NDC had always said that they don't want it.
Okay.
And we said back then that at the moment that we find ourselves in, we needed
You needed this, but you don't anymore.
At the time that, I mean, things were, the economy started picking up, we said, okay, if the economy is picking up,
didn't even remove COVID levy after COVID.
We are going to take it out when, I mean, Dr. Baumia comes in, then we will take it. And this government said, no, they don't. So if they said they didn't want it, please, when they came, they are not come to read their
budgets. So tomorrow we expect
even in Wuhan, they don't pay COVID tax.
Taxes.
Taxes.
I'm really happy she touched on that. I'm also adding my voice to it, especially for the businesses, homegrown businesses, and that we need to.
The restaurants, they are struggling. Because me, I start buying food from restaurants now. The taxes are just a bit too much. More than almost about 10% of how much you're paying.
I'm also expecting them to do something about it.
Ladies, I think that we've had a very excessive conversation on what we are expecting of tomorrow, because we'll have to be back here on Monday to talk about the budget, and that was going to be read tomorrow. But finally, before we go, ladies, and this is going to be a final thought, your simple thoughts on this, and then we'll wrap up the conversation. That is on the NSS scandal. We have a woman in the middle of this. A woman in the middle of this, and that is heartbreaking, because for a lot of women, this is not how we wanted to see women in position show up. What are your takes on it, and what are your expectations? Just quickly, because we don't have time, we have to wrap up.
Okay, so
Madam Gift Yawari Mensah.
Yes, I know. So she's in town.
Yes.
She's been invited by the NIB.
Yes.
With, I mean, she's insisting with investigation. One thing that I always say that we are governed by, I mean, Constitution, we are governed by laws. So if someone is being, or some corrupt practice or act has been detected, the courts are there. My sister is here. You can come and take her to even go and take up the case so that they go to court and go and find out whether what they are saying is true or not. But what I don't like in Ghana, or what we have always been doing, that we keep on doing, that I think is not the best for us, is we kind of judge the people. We kind of bring the people to the public domain, say all manner of things, say the person is corrupt, the person, meanwhile, the case has not even started in court. So at the end of the day, if the person is even proven innocent at the end of the day, it becomes so difficult for people to accept the fact that then people start saying that, oh, some mafia hand has gone in and stuff like that. So I think that the way and approach that we approach these issues, we should be very careful about. Today, it might not be you, it might not be you, it might be your brother or your sister. Tomorrow, it might be you, and the same process will be done, and you may not like it, because at the end of it, when you are proven innocent, it becomes so difficult. Even when you are saying you are innocent, people are saying, no, because of the things people people said, unlike Sedinam, who is still on the run, that we don't even know where she is. Please encourage her to also come. Just as she has,
propaganda secretary.
She has been bold enough, because even at the time that she was outside the country, the NIB has not invited her. You see, but it was already on social media. She's running, she's doing this, she's doing that. Now she came. When she came, it was not the NIB that went to arrest her. She turned herself. She went to,
because that's we wanted to confirm that as well.
Yeah, you really need to confirm it. She went. They invited her, then she went, and she's assisting with the investigation. I am also with the opinion that Ghana first. If you are given an opportunity to serve the country, the country's interests come before any other interest.
Absolutely.
So if anybody is found guilty,
they should
let
be
the laws work. But
them.
if the person too is innocent, please, our opponent,
let's clear.
We beg you people. The propagandists are too much.
Their law. Briefly touch on this
well,
one quickly.
If you study the law for 5 years like I have, you know that due process is very important.
Yes.
Technically or legally, Madam Gifty is innocent until she's proven guilty. So I think we should just let the agencies work.
Thank you.
She has submitted herself for investigations, and we hope that, I don't think it matters that in the future people would, like, she can't exonerate herself. The wheels of justice grind slowly, but eventually, if it's cleared, it won't matter. I don't think that's an issue at all.
It matters in the kind of society.
Because in Ghana, and I want to try to agree with her that we have also had people who have been exonerated by the court, but Ghanaians have touted they can never mention their names.
That's a cultural issue, not
that is my point. That is my point.
We need to be mindful.
Ladies, my producers, as you can hear the drums rolling. So Lawyer and Karen Essiful-Ansah and Irene Hattoh, communications team member, Kong Katamanso founder. She Speaks MPP joined me. I enjoyed this conversation. I wish we had more time to delve more into other issues, but we're going to be doing this again. Ladies, thank you so much for giving me such a sane level of conversation. They wanted to do it more, but we dodged them. Ladies and gentlemen, we're moving on to other exciting stuff right here on the show. Be right back.
Say must send you a BS car.
Any pictures now? Choose your pet. Now send this kind of man.
Sending money from Telecel Cash to Telecel Cash is free. You can also make payments to merchants on all networks with Telecel Cash.
Telecel, connecting energies.
Africa's greatest Achilles heels are not her politicians. Africa's greatest Achilles heels are not even her religious leaders. I believe that Africa's greatest Achilles heels is that Africans themselves do not believe in their truest potential and what they can become. My name is Moses B. Arthur. I want to specially invite you for the Trailblazers Unite Shaping Tomorrow's Ghana Today event. Come the 12th of April inside the UPSA auditorium at exactly 11 a.m. The event is absolutely free. We have an amazing lineup of speakers, from myself to the founders of Pizza Man, Chicken Man, Chris, and his co-founder Ebenezer. We have the CEO of CPO, Dr. Stephen Debra. We have an amazing woman coming all the way from the United States, Makeda Smith, and other lineup of speakers joining us so that we can just position ourselves for just one thing. We want to make sure that by the time we are leaving this event, we have been positioned into a place where we can think bigger, where we can dream louder, and where we can act bolder. After all, why are we here if we can do great things? Remember that this event is free, and I want you to join me. There's going to be some amazing giveaways that are going to have this event. You may end up probably living here with a job opportunity whatsoever. Don't miss this event for anything. Tell a friend to tell a friend, and don't forget that this event is proudly sponsored by Entrepreneurship Hub Africa, Pizza Man, Chicken Man, and MX24 Media. Like I always say, love and light. Cheers, guys. See you on April 12th.
From 2012, we have gathered for new wine. 13 years later, Levites gather. It's time to be refreshed, renewed, and poured out. Ladies and gentlemen, MOG Music presents New Wine 2025 theme. Back to the basics. Venue, First Love Center. Encounter true power with ministrations from Kwame Jedu, Reverend Barry Nikwe, Pastor Isaiah, and Obapa Christie. Date 30th March, time 5 p.m. Rate single 100 Ghana cedis, VIP 200 Ghana cedis, family of 5 450 Ghana cedis. Sponsors Omni Basic Bank, Secure Sanitary Pad, eTransact, Knowledge Tree International, Tank Palace Hotel, and Oasis Studios. Media partners, your ticket awaits you. Get it now. Dial *389 *777 hash or visit Airport Shell, Community 11 Shell, Bachana Total, Royal House, and First Love Center. Let the Levites arise in this generation. We're going back to the basics. Ready?
Right now, the gospel music shares, they are showing us premium shaggy. Because tell me why she's looking so stunning in this music video. She walks into my studio, I'm like, you are truly a queen. Good morning, Queen Debby.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm good.
You look absolutely stunning.
Thank
especially
you.
in that video. You see that pink hat?
Yes.
You still have it at home?
Yes,
I need it for something. There's some baby kids wear it.
Is there? I'll bring it.
Please.
I'll bring it.
What do you call that one?
Worthy of my praise.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Have you always been very fashionable, and now pressure of the music industry is dragging you into looking?
Oh, they be like, I'm a beautician.
Oh.
Yeah, I do makeup and then I do hair too.
Oh.
So like.
Makes sense.
Yes. I do my makeup myself. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Yes.
I see. So because you're already in the beauty industry, it's easy for you to show up in the...
Yes, you have to look good.
I know this might sound a bit controversial. I do not have details of this, but you have a striking resemblance with Obapa Christie.
Yes.
Do you get that a lot?
Yes.
How does that make you feel?
She's my big sis.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And so there's a good relationship, and she supports you.
Very, very much.
Munya collaboration.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Asawa.
Yeah, baby.
And I mean, we.
Oh,
and then they promote you.
Yes, my first album. Boame radiesue, mihao moa, se na mihao moa.
That's your song?
Yes. About Bontain 209.
Yes.
Yes.
209.
Yes.
I don't remember the face. So tell me, what were you called then?
Deborah Inchua.
That's
yes.
Because that song is by Deborah Inchua.
Yes.
But not Queen Debby. And then you rebranded.
Yes.
So if you didn't know, sorry, because every service BI Boami bebe mu one.
Enkrofo so de so sa.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
You have been in the system for
very long. Yeah.
How does it make you feel to see everybody getting the kind of attention they have, knowing the work that you put in? How does that make you feel?
Okay, thank you so much. Me hune say nyankopon wo mrene na wo de na ade. and enyom to adwuma no me say when say enye rush and it's not a competition and abibisa and you know nyankopon ye wadom na say umre so na wo so de foforo ba wonten a then you come out with it. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And adwuma no tiase.
Yeah.
Thank
you.
Who experience?
And then my next album was Eka Binkwan Kamawu. Eka Binkwan Kamas. Say that one too, I did it with Obapa. So a lot of people think say it's Obapa's song. Yeah.
But when they think it's Obapa's song, how does that make you feel?
It make like my manager because having that brand, she's a whole brand like or a full package. And then she being in my music, you know, it promotes me and then it promotes her as well. Yeah, because I knew about part in your work, na Queen Debby na ere. Nani that's so first. Yeah.
But I didn't now feel say a dinner was so sano. Rebranding me, I'm a brands person and a PR person. It means rebranding is necessary for every brand. So that in Kofobe be excited to look for you. That is the essence of rebranding. But for you, Ankasa, I didn't know Queen Debby instead of Deborah Nchua.
Who said Deborah Nchua? Sister, who is very long, like Ewa. For we before Deborah Nchua, be like Oberborn, Sasaye, Asantidine, that kind of way. So men say that Babani say Deborah Nchua, or the Yancy Sandino. Now you had I think my brother and a casa, and the Queen. Because a man and I are Queen when Yamimu. So he suggested it, and then I mean, oh, like Miss me or him when Yamimu, you know, the name suits me. So me fan so Queen Debby is very nice.
But so counterpart you need to use these kind of names.
Yeah, Debbie.
Like you know, your was sister Debbie, your was sister Sia. I'm glad my sister. I'm from gospel side, no, because I sorry them your first sisters.
Yes.
Magic Queen, Empress.
What I say?
It's just a more dream,
Papa.
Oh, gospel music.
You did him money. I deal with what I say.
And mama, only problem with your fans worrying about the name Queen Debby.
They love the name Queen Debby.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
But sure, Queen Debby, so your new brand.
Yes.
The brand you are there were way too much.
What I say?
But Queen Debby never beji glory. No. What is next for Queen Debby?
What is next? Queen Debby, I think I'm a latest year, but I think that it's almost 2 weeks. Friday, 2 weeks. Into no your bonfire, and your member Koswama and Yomno, Jana Akoria Siafan lunch and kama because me share him to us many be beside that. I believe Tanya Bema amount for say Queen Deborah on the board you way say one sign on hand, you know, yeah, there's any money ever to acquire say a better median.
Now, when you're talking about gospel music as well, fundamentally, no, Obibeka say, right? But also, we have seen people complain about mood positions. You see, gospel musicians, some about Danny, slay queens, and slay mamas. And I've had all the names you could know him up about PAC on this platform before. Very good. But then also, mama, how are you working on making music as spiritual as possible?
Okay, thank you so much. Me want to say, any kind say, amount for a drink, I didn't know if a Christopher one because in young couple now, yes, some no operate in the whole fair.
Yeah,
and then he wants beauty. And you know, any one say, "Ukonya me fie no ayo hosake to say, usum nyame ntino, uyo hosake to dia kosum nyame de bi nyanesa." And then it's a brand. Like you have to look good for your audience. And na bibisa what I say. And you know, it's part of your jumana it's part. But and I believe say actually no better say.
Okay.
Yeah.
With time,
a lot of people be more quite to make us nyame so monye say but obi be can asem say bia undru ho na na say unya sa de ntina you are not doing it but when you ubehu say
obo enyum first one na obo maame no boame no
yes
and na me say obi e ka try me say me director
okay
and a director and of choosing Gabby Grant abi Gabby Wami radio swe. Enti me team ne catch me say me director she movie no or no shooting that video. So shout out to you, Gabby Grant. You've been doing this for years. We'll put some respect on your name, buddy. But then again, one person they say, do you see yourself to but Osha music industry no gospel music more challenge pa anything and that either they are lambasting you or your projects are not reaching the height our position I was say and you need to then a challenge that we face here as gospel musicians.
Challenge now you facing there a baby because obey star na like an answer obey ntuni ana bibi or assassin so it's not easy. There are a lot of things that you cannot do. You know, and then in our music we you know what's yeah, and you know they say TikTok, just a baby, everything is about Sikano. And you know, I think it's your support. I don't know where it's gonna come from. But if we get a support, I bet me pushing you to do more now. I think it's a ministry, you know, a bit kind.
As me new workers as I say I na that you have a family. Yes. You have a husband, you have children you're raising. Pacho, how are you able to do music, beauty, and manage your home effectively? Because it sounds so one of the problems the rate of divorce that gospel musicians are facing. And it's disheartening because marriage gospel not to say I started drifting away from you. How are you able to put your entire life together?
Me bas see na me come here late kaka me say me ba no me rush ni say na me dey go school na me dey make and me say me kun my husband is not here.
Okay.
Nti no ko wa na be come so we are managing.
Because I used to listen to these songs and because me what senior high school time but thank you for those inspirational songs. Not only you're powerful, these new ones that you encourage which means that something you did that your songs are still relevant. Keep pushing and we'll keep supporting you. We appreciate you.
Thank you so
much. Oh, you're legend! Wow! But I say no connect everything me no connect people for people say bookie or people say no yeah. I'm
calling 5572334 0545 572334.
Oh, in all social media platforms are connected.
Pacho, YouTube, Queen Debby, Instagram, Queen Debby Music, TikTok, Queen Debby Music, and Facebook is Queen Debby. International Ghana phone, and I said Queen Debby is back again. Yes, with a nice song, and then my video is very lovely. So I ask for their support. Say, support me. They should go and follow me, and then watch my videos to like promote the work of God. And my sister Obapa Christie, and then my husband is my producer. So Robbie Production, Yankopon Ishani Baby, my management team, Yankopon Show, me papa, my brother wrote this song for me, worthy of my praise. They made it on a training with mommy, Richard, Yankopon Ishani Baby.
What feature will be one
DDT, on a sound engineer. Okay. Yankopon Share. Momo support Queen Debby and Paibo Masofo. I love them so much.
We love you too. And for all these years, she stayed relevant, beautiful, and very, 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 very fashionable. I I'm super. I won't say countenance not because God, you people, why you want ready to? Ladies and gentlemen, this has been a phenomenal show. I have been blessed with wonderful women passing through this morning's show. I am blessed. Go and stream Queen Debby's songs. Go on YouTube. Go on her Instagram page. Follow her. She's also a beautician, so if you want to hire her for your hair and makeup for a music video, this is your go-to plug. Because the Holy Spirit's within a chair. What more do you want? Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being a part of the show. Again, do make sure to join us on all social media platforms. It's MX24GH on all social media platforms. Happy International Women's Day to every single woman. We love you, and to yourself. Thank you for being so amazing.
So
and
much.
Keep the fire burning. Me, I love you. And so I love you too for being a part of the show. From 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. I love you. My name is Miriam Muduak-Mensah.